ライオン神エスカノール様だ。震えるさ。
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Critic Alex, and today we're going to be not playing with Abel. Apologies. We're going to be ranking up Valenti. We're going to be maxing her out. I promise this will be a real max out this time, not an almost max build Valenti. We're going to be talking about her gears, how you want to build her yourself if you've got her, and then I'll also be letting you guys know some extra tips because... Wait, why is she my representative? Because if you don't have Valenti, you want to be friends with someone. You want to make friends with someone in-game as fast as you can to get Valenti on global. And when I mean friends, I literally mean, like, I legitimately mean this. So if you have friend spots available, you can send me a friend request. And I guess I didn't show my friend code. All right, there we go, 396221621. Because there is an event right now, and this is not the reason why I'm building up Valenti, but it's nice, where you actually need to use Valenti. Now, when you go ahead and hit start, it's not going to show Valenti right away, but then when you hit start again, it's going to say, oh, you are required to use Valenti, and she's not shown there, but basically if you had friends that had Valenti, you'd scroll through here and try to find her. There you go. And then you would, thanks Kilio, and you would use her. So that's the way to get past this event, and you want to get through this event because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, these are nice, but 5 SSR pendants is humongous. Humongous what? So yes, you definitely want to do that. So yeah, send me a friend request, ask other people. You can join the Discord. We have almost 10,000 members. I'm sure there's plenty of Valenti owners there. And you can post your friend code and try to get some ads, even if it's only temporary, so that you can use Valenti and secure those 5 SSR pendants for yourself. So we're actually going to start off this time with her Affinity. I realized when I did the Green Lilia rank up, I did not... Green Lilia or Blue Demon Meliodas max out video, I did not include the... Stop it. I did not include the Affinity. And this is obviously the most exciting part of the rank up. And this is... I want to bring attention to this because, you know... I don't know if they have on JP, they have it on JP where you can just click and hold and it will continuously add, or if you can just click and set the number that you want to add, but having to click 200 times, this is a real travesty on global. Hashtag justice for global. So there we go. We get max out Affinity. She's all angry and stuff. We get the 1 diamond. As a free-to-play player, I really need that diamond. Psych. And then we get the Affinity SSR cosmetic, which is nice because it bumps up her HP, and she is a tanky defensive character. Now, I've already purchased 1 cosmetic set for her. I purchased this one. This is the one that I think looks the coolest. It's my favorite looking set here. Now, some people like I like the pierce rate. It's really, really good. Some people I think will say that the best set for Valenti, if you're wondering, is the one in the middle. Not only is it the most skimpy, but if you look here, the defensive gear has 4% resistance, and that's going to synergize insanely well with her passive once you unlock it, because of course it decreases pierce rate by the value of Valenti's resistance. So the more resistance you have, the better. So I sacrificed 3% resistance to get 6% pierce rate. I don't think it's necessarily worth it. I'm not saying that it is, but on the flip side, it looks the coolest. And I don't mind losing a little bit of resistance. I might end up purchasing it anyways, to be honest with you. But I don't mind losing a little bit to get 6% pierce rate, especially because I'm planning to get her ult 6-6, and right now I believe it's 4-6. So we've got all these ingredients here for Awakening. You guys should be farming chalices right now. Keep in mind, you want to farm as many different stages as you can. Like, don't just farm the first stage or the second stage. I say this every time there's a chalice farming event, because you want to get these awakened materials as well. They don't all drop from the fight, but some of them do. No, this one doesn't. I think this one does. No, this one does. You know what? None of them do. I'm confused. I have officially become confused. I know some of them do, I just don't know which ones it is. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. So she has base 30%. So let's see here. Base 30% Pierce and base 26. Well, not base, I should say. This is a little bit high. It's actually base 24% Pierce and whatever, 25% resistance after you get her 6-star awakened. Not bad on the crit damage. And the crit resistance is nice too. 50% crit resistance. And almost 50% crit defense as well. Okay, let's get her leveled up here. You only have to click and hold this once to speed that up. I was informed that that is the way to do it, so I don't have to click 1,000 times anymore. Just click and hold, baby. Boom. There we go. Let's evolve Valenti. We have 15 pendants. Perfect. Let's see here. I always wanted to be free. I was sick of being trapped. I don't know her backstory. Lilia is my savior. We're going to destroy this place and together exterminate everything. So she's insane. So Valenti's like a mass murderer. She's like female Helbram, except she's human. Okay, so we get the UR outfit for her, which looks pretty cool. It's like sort of modified kimono, something like that. Okay, let's go ahead and enhance her to 60. Where are my ultra successes? Ultra successes, where are you? I'm running out of pots. There we go. Oh, man. Imagine running out of pots. A limit break. There we go. We have 300 horns. That frees up an inventory spot. Okay. We can get her thingamajig. Get a super or an ultra, please. Thank you. Limit breaker again. Bada bing, bada boom. Bapst. Let's go to 70 here. I don't think all of this is needed. Let's get another ultra or another super. No! I lied, it was needed. Yeah, for those of you wondering, I mean, I've burned through all my pots, but the last time... Actually, not the last time. The time before that. So two times ago, maybe it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, there was a Fort Solgris, like, not the last Fort Solgris half stamina, but the one before that. I farmed for one overnight. I farmed just pots. That's why I have so many. And I recommend you do the same if you want to level up a lot of characters. And it's actually more important now to max out characters because of the box reward. The HP buff. So spending some time, spending some energy and spending some pots doing that is honestly not a bad idea. We're gonna run out of 3-star and then it's gonna be inefficient to get her to 80. Bummer. Okay, so these are my last 3 pendants. I got 50 more of those, but we've got a fully maxed out Valentisaurus Rex. All right. Let's do that and see. No! Why? Why, though? Alright, let's just finish it off, whatever. I should have done the 4 before the 3s. Of course. There we go. Completely maxed out on her level, her awakening, her affinity. Now, we want to give her resistance gear. And I don't have a resistance set. I don't have like a defense HP resistance set. But I think the best alternative, or the best sort of temporary set for her, would be my Gother full defense set, because most of this set is rolled for resistance. You got 26, almost 30% there, and I can actually re-roll this to fix it to make it 30 or very close. And then here we actually don't have that much resistance. We have a lot of defense. Okay, so you could definitely get more resistance here, but now we've got 9,000%, 9,000 defense and 60% resistance. Okay, so it's not enough. It's definitely not enough. So yeah, I would have to basically, I could modify this set and use it for both Gother and Valenti by just, unless you wanted to use the Valenti and Gother at the same time in geared PvP, which would then ruin it. You need to make a separate set. But otherwise, all I have to do is get another defense SSR necklace and roll that one and make that one full resistance. Or you know what? I could just re-roll this one to full resistance with anvils and then make another rare earring. No, I'd have to make another one because Gother, I mean, it's only 10% defense. Does Gother really need the 10% defense? I'm sure there's a cheaper way of just using it. You could just change this one and then just make another earring that was like, you know, whatever, 20% resistance and 10% defense. It's really not that big of a deal for Gother specifically. when you swap back and forth. And actually, I have one here that I can already start working on. So yeah, we do need to make some modifications. You want her resistance to be as high as possible, so obviously 60% is not going to cut it, to be honest. I mean, 60% is good. You're going to reduce Hauser's Pierce by 60%. For a lot of players, that means he's going to have like 0% Pierce or 10% Pierce. Only like top players with tons of anvils or huge whales are going to have, you know, 80-90% Pierce, especially if they didn't miss out on that, his one weapon, what's it called? Eye of the Storm. But let's go ahead now and see Ingenious Strategy. Let's see what this unique entails. This is the Black Magic Research Hall you talked about, Lilia. So they come back to this research hall, but it's all damaged. It's run down. A rebellion took place in the past. It was never restored after it collapsed. This is where the mages are gathered. So they're looking for research. Are they being held captive? Grab the research data. And then Vivian pulls up, or just a mage pulls up. They're fluffy beds. Okay. Okay, and she goes berserk. She wants to free the mages. Yeah, okay, so Valenti seems like a big spaz. Interesting. I mean, she's called Earthshaker, right? So that makes sense. Oh, so you fight Lilia. Interesting. I like how they spin these sometimes. I spilled water on myself. Okay, let's see here. So, alright, so we've got, decreases defense-related stats, and then Genesis. Okay, well, let's just do this to get the most. Yeah. Oda. Yo, is this her stand? Is Valenti a stand user? Silphida. So they pull up together. Oh, patience. You love to see it. You love to see it. Yep. You're gonna see a lot of patience with Valenti. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Oh, that one's defense-related stats. You want to do the defense first, then that one. Damage is obviously not that good, but it's enough. She's like a weird mech stand user hybrid. Oh my god. She could be a JoJo's character. Am I wrong though? She could be a JoJo's character. Have you calmed down? Our hands is to get the research data. Destroying the place isn't a bad idea. It's sad thing to work on something you don't like against your will. Okay, yeah, slavery's bad. So then Lilia promises to let her destroy everything. You're the best. Okay. Alright, I wonder what her backstory is, because we know that Lilia trained with Merlin. So maybe she was captive, or her parents were held captive, or something. Ingenious Strategy. Ruin, Blue Demon Melee, and Hauser's Day in geared PvP. One quick thing about her gear before we take her into some content. I actually did find an HP defense set that works really well, and I just had to swap over one piece of gear from my red Gother set that has all resistance, and then just tweak one of my necklaces a little bit. So now she is rocking almost 8,000 attack, just over 6,600 defense, and 78, almost 80% resistance. And that's where you want to aim for. I think with Valenti, you want to aim for about 75 to 80% resist. So I know I said triple defense, but I don't think that is the way to go. I think HP defense is better, especially for geared PvP. The extra HP, you can see I'm at almost 110. That's going to put a lot up on your CC. And that's going to be important because unless you splash a ton of money, she's going to have fewer cosmetics, so her CC is going to be lower. So we actually have about 38,000 on her CC with the Lilia association, and Lilia has a level 2 or level 3 alt. And then for this, we're actually going to be testing her in a Gray Demon Extreme. And for this, we're going to be also eating food that gives us resistance. So that 78 is going to go up to 108, so almost 110 resistance, which is going to lower the Gray Demon's Pierce by 110. And apparently, I've never tried this before, I've never seen a video on this. Apparently, the Gray Demon hits like a wet baby, like a wet noodle or a wet napkin. A wet baby? That doesn't make sense. Throwing a baby at someone would hurt. Anyways, he hits like a baby when you use Valenti. So we're going to try out this team. I normally run my level 60 King anyways, and he doesn't die. I usually run Green Liz here, so it's not necessarily the optimal team. We've got a Gil Thunder, Gother King lineup, but let's see how this works. And this is really good, especially if you are not level 70 or if you like to carry your teammates for Grey Demon, because Valenti will make everyone take less damage, right? Because she's going to be reducing the pierce rate of the Grey Demon. So I'm not sure why this person's taking... Okay, there we go. So yeah, Grey Demon, she's going to reduce the pierce rate of the Grey Demon, which is going to affect everyone, right? So normally when you bring in a character like that that's going to buff, right, provide buffs, that's going to... that's not going to affect your teammate. But in this case, it does. It's kind of like using Green Gustav for the Red Demon, except in Green Gustav's case, we know that it actually doesn't... Well, it's not the greatest thing in the world. Okay, so we've got Arrow here, cool. We're gonna wait to see what they do here. Valenti doesn't do much damage. That's the thing. But she does provide the benefit. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on. This person's taking a really long time to play. Yeah. Okay, there we go. We get the Arrow. And then we are just going to dump the rest of our cards. The debuffs are not going to matter. I actually want to see how much damage she does. How much damage Valenti does. But we just want to stock up on king cards. And then wait for that Gil Thunder buff. And then slap. But more than the offense, I want to see. And I think how hilarious it would be if you brought Green Merlin. Oh, these are melee attacks, right. Okay, so only that one's going to do damage. True. 12k, yeah. Zero, like you know, whatever. Arrow shot damage. Okay. So let's see how much damage he does. What? Yo, he patienced. The Grey Demon Extreme patienced on Green Valenti. This is hilarious. Okay, let's signal for a buff. And let's go. That is something beautiful. Okay. Let's see here. Maybe I shouldn't have asked for a buff. We're gonna do a move. And we're gonna play it. We gotta start putting down some damage. So his heal, right? When he sucked up all those souls, that usually heals him for like 20, 30,000. I think he healed for 9,900. The damage is not that good because they haven't built up enough orbs. But this is a hilarious... you know, development. Less than 10k damage. And normally you don't eat food for death matches, right? Like, you don't normally eat food. So eating resistance food for this really doesn't do anything. Really doesn't, you know, cost me anything. But this is absolutely hilarious. Okay, I think the demon's dead. This is good damage. Let's see how much this does. That's melee. That's the ranged attack. You gotta get those arrow or those bow and arrow attacks. I love the new icons for the range attacks. He might be dead actually. We don't get to see the level 3 Valenti, but it doesn't matter. Valenti's damage here does not matter. She makes him hit hilariously low numbers. So yeah, especially for whales, or just in general, players that want to carry their friends, Grey Demon becomes so much easier to carry in. Oh, I lost the attack buff from Gil Thunder because of that kind of stab attack that he did. But yeah, you can totally carry people so much more easily with Valenti in Grey Demon. I mean, you probably could already, but this makes it even easier. Wow. That damage was... You could barely notice it, right? For both teams. And remember, I have a level 60 king. I think there was a level 60 and 65 on my teammates' team. So we were not rocking level 80s and level 75s at all, right? And the damage was like, you're squinting and looking at the HP bars to see how they move. So thank you to Ahsoka for inviting me. But I mean, I didn't believe it. I honestly didn't believe it. People were like, yeah, yo, Valenti's really good for Grey Demon. He does like no damage. And I was like, the Grey Demon's damage is not that high. It's not Crimson, but it's decent. I honestly wonder how she would do against the Crimson Demon, because she doesn't have type disadvantage, right? He's green, she's green. Maybe she would do really good damage against the Grey Demon, although he does against the Crimson Demon. Although the Crimson Demon does scale, right? The more turns or the more cards that he plays, the more damage and the more attack value he gets. It's sort of like stacks infinitely, kind of like Red Lizhawk, I guess, except not damage based for resetting. But yeah, so the build, just really quickly, with 38,800 combat class, almost 39. I have only one cosmetic right now from the Sacred Treasure Shop, which is this one, the number 32 pilot. Yes, the middle one for Valenti, this one, the weapon... Oh, they're all weapon researcher. Okay. This one's called Fiery Giant's Hand. So the fiery or the flame set, this one is the best for PvP right now because of the 4% resistance. I bought one that only has 1% resistance, so I'm technically losing out on 3% resistance. But what I really like about this set, on top of looking the coolest, this gives me serious like cyberpunk mech vibes. It's got the 6% pierce rate, and I think that's really nice. Obviously, she doesn't do very much damage, but it's kind of cute, and also it's kind of hilarious that she's lowering your pierce rate, but then she has her own pierce rate. We did get the ult up to level 4, Maxwell's Goblin, and then for the gear, like I said, HP defense I think is what to do for her, and then just get as much resistance as possible on your substat rolls. You can double, not the HP, but this one doubles as an earring for the Gother Patience set for Knighthood Boss. So it's not like you have to build a whole new set for Valenti, which is good for lower spending players. It is pretty frustrating, and I have heard people complaining about this. With new characters coming out, like Blue Demon Melee comes out, she comes out, we're going to need another Pierce set for Blue Lilia. It's a lot of pressure on players to come up with sets, and especially SSR sets constantly, week over week, because Global is moving so fast. So I totally understand that, and I can appreciate that I was able to cobble together a set for Valenti that actually works really well. Keep in mind, Valenti does not work nearly as well. I wouldn't say she's useless, but she's much less effective with low resistance, and she's much less effective in ungeared, in gearless PvP, because you lose all that resistance. So she's only going to have her base, whatever, 20% resistance plus cosmetics. You could probably get that to like 30% max resistance. So it's only going to reduce the penetration, the pierce by 30%. Now, when you play in ungeared, the enemies don't have pierce rate either, so that's why you don't see very many. You see almost zero Housers in ungeared, and you see very few Demon Melees, Blue Demon Melees, but just keep that in mind. I will be bringing you guys some PvP content for Valenti very soon. I am not super impressed with her, I will say that. She does have her uses for sure, and she is a counter, but she does not feel unstoppable, and she doesn't make your team feel unstoppable. And I don't think that you can necessarily build a team around her. I think she's more of a plug into specific team comps, and she may be more of like a counterplay, like a rock, paper, scissors type of thing, which can be frustrating at times, because if you're rock and you keep meeting paper, you're just going to keep losing. And so you're just sort of like playing PvP matches waiting to meet scissors so you can smash them. Anyways, she makes the Gray Demon a piece of paper, so that was pretty cool. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.